So we're gonna start the meeting. Now, do we have a quorum?
Yes, we do, don't we?
Yeah,
Of us,
Yeah.
not kind
we have
Claudia.
6, so yeah, I think so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right?
All right, so we'll start with a prayer. Lord, in these unusual times and with us all on video and not together, we ask that you be present with us, each and every one of us, as we do the business
Hello.
of the Council on Aging, and that we do it properly, and that we do it with the good mind that we are doing the good for the people of Hubbardston, the elderly. Lord, thank you, and please be with us. Amen.
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 A special blessing for Billy Bumpus, who's ill.
Thank you. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Alrighty, shall we have the treasurer's report?
Yes, okay. Out of our $5,000 expense account, which is for supplies and services, as of the end of the year, we have $2,793.78 left to spend in the next 6 months. For the formula grant, for which we don't have the money yet, we have spent $400.95.
Could you repeat that one more time, please?
And for contributions and income, if you will, from yard sales and the Christmas event and everything and donations, we have raised, we have $16,960.61. So that's where we stand as of the end of the year.
May I ask you one more time for the formula grant balance?
Yes, $400.95.
Thank you.
Is that the treasurer's report?
That is the treasurer's report.
All right, thank you. Do I hear a motion to accept the treasurer's report?
Motion to accept.
Second.
Second. Okay, well,
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Chair, sounds like it passed. All right, could we have the secretary's report?
Yes. I believe the last time that we met was November 13th, 2020. And present were Vice Chairperson Flo, Secretary Mel, Treasurer Ken, COA Director Claudia, Board members Bonnie Cunningham, John Nason, Jane Gregorio, Bill Lipka, and Nancy Afonso. Meeting was called to order by the Vice Chairperson at 10:05 a.m. A prayer was given by Flo Purvier. The Secretary's report was presented by Mel. The report was from 10/16/2020. Motion to accept Jane, second Bonnie and Bill, and the motion passed. Treasurer's report was presented by Ken Horvath. Gift account balance $15,183.61. Expense account balance $3,476.55. Formula account balance minus $250.11 because we haven't received it yet, so it was in the negative.
Exactly.
Motion to accept, Mel, second Bill, and the motion to accept the treasurer's report was passed unanimously. The director's report was submitted by Claudia. Mock will be delivering 31-pound boxes of food after Thanksgiving. Volunteers will be needed for distribution and delivery. Governor Baker's new guidelines will not require any updated changes at the senior center at that time. Motion to accept the report, Bonnie, second Ken, and the motion passed unanimously. New business, Claudia addressed the board regarding our Christmas fair. The Christmas fair may need to be downsized, but we would like to still have the raffle baskets, cemetery boxes, and hunter's stew. The subcommittee will be meeting at noon today. Claudia indicated that she has scheduled a program for 21-21 in conjunction with the Cultural Council. Motion to adjourn, Mel, second John Nason, motion passed unanimously, and the meeting was adjourned at, that can't be right, I put 7:51 a.m., but we didn't start till 10:05, so I think it must be 9:51, and I just typoed it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, that wouldn't work either because we adjourned at 10:05. So it must have been 11:51 a.m. Does that sound familiar to people? I can look. that
Yes, I think we started it at 11, if I remember.
up. Okay, thank you so much. So there's a typo on these notes. Okay.
Report. Am I still here?
You're
No,
there,
you
Skip,
put-
but we lost your face.
We lost your face, but we can hear you.
Oh, that's okay, good. All right, you heard
We need
the,
to accept that, though? Do we
yeah,
need to?
that's what I'm gonna right now. You heard the secretary's report? Do I have a, to accept with correction?
Motion to accept.
In a second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, sounds like it passed. Can I have the director's report, please?
I don't really have a report. I just, I did the handout schedule. Does anybody have one? Did you get them? Your
You
schedule
mean,
that I
you mean
wrote?
what you emailed? The
Yeah.
one you emailed to us.
Yeah, but I emailed to you. I wanted you to look at that, see what you thought, but we might want to talk about what we want to do if we want to just continue to close the senior center for another couple of months. We don't need to have the coffee hour or the bingo or, this is too close to home, and they said we're gonna, Ryan and I said we're gonna and look at this on January 21st, but I did the schedule. You can look at that, and if we decide that we want to just close until spring, I don't have a problem with that, except for just deliver the foods on that day. I don't know what my board is thinking. I'll go along with whatever you think.
So I was just gonna ask, would you still want Sue and Pat to come in and do newsletter and those kind of things or not?
Well, I would want like someone to come in and check the phone and answer the phone and make sure all the seniors, if they have any problems, if they have someplace to call or someone to talk to. Yeah, we gotta have some skeleton crew, but we don't want to open it to the public.
Right.
But if we
Yeah,
could
and I
have
don't
like
mind, I don't mind still coming in every 2 weeks and just looking, see if any bills came in,
yes,
pay them. I mean, that's fine. I kind of agree that, I mean, I know from my wife and I, we really do our best to not expose ourselves, but we still have 2 girls at home who work and, friends and everything. And it's just for this short period of time, the weather's going to be terrible to begin with.
Yeah.
If you said right now and made an announcement that until would be reevaluated until at March 1st, that gives another 6 weeks to see what happens here in Massachusetts in terms of,
Good point.
I mean, the numbers are still high, but they're not as high as they were last week. There were certain cases, some days the cases were high 6,000s, low 7,000s. The last day, I don't know what I got yesterday, the day before it was 5,300. And I think the day before that, it was 4,800. So hopefully there's a trend that from the peak, it's going to come down. I'm one for making an error on the side of being conservative and just saying, and we as the senior citizens, we are as a group more vulnerable, just in general. And I think not exposing our group for another 6 weeks. Yeah, and then you reevaluate it the last week of February. You know, we have a February meeting like this, you know, near the end of the month, and we reevaluate what are the numbers, what's it look like, and we make a decision. I think that's a very good idea.
I think so too, and I just want to tell you that you don't, this virus is very different. What you think it's going to be about, it isn't. So sometimes it's like when I didn't think I had that. I thought I had, other things going on. So I think a lot of seniors might say, oh, that's, fluff things off, but I think you're right. I think we should do that, but I think we should have a little skeleton crew in there, like,
Well, as I
Like
said,
if Pat wants to
I
come
have
every
no
other-
problem coming in every
Yeah.
2 weeks on a Monday.
yeah, and I
you
know Pat,
And just double checking with everything. Would you be coming in, Nancy, on Monday still for a little bit, or?
If she wants me to, sure.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
know,
we
but I'm
need to-
just saying, you know, and just come in, get the information. There may not be, there may be no bills because we're
Right.
not doing anything. but
right,
checking anyway.
and we need to still reach out to some of the seniors that are shut in.
Right,
you
I'm
know.
gonna stop by on Monday morning for the same thing, just see if there's anything there.
But
And
okay, so
I'm
Ken,
I'm willing, my numbers are out on the newsletter, my cell phone, my home phone. I'm home all the time. I'm not going anywhere. I had a scare. I'm done. I'm not going anywhere. So if you want to, people can call. I'm happy to talk. I was talking to Bonnie today. I said, Bonnie, you get lonely, give me a call because I'm lonely too. So, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I was going to suggest. Maybe if Patty hasn't sent the newsletter out, that she could put a little note in there that anybody who is lonesome could reach out to members of the board and just for a chat once in a while,
Sure.
just to reach out
Absolutely.
and connect, because it does get boring. But I've got several friends that that are seniors that I talk to regularly, and it's nice to hear a cheerful voice on the other end of the line. And
Sure.
we could be that voice.
Wait a minute, you mean if they call us, we have to be cheerful?
Well,
Yes.
We can
I'll
be
be-
Oh, all right,
try.
all right.
So Claudia, I have a suggestion. You know that list that I usually call that's at the senior center? That I
yes,
call them? Do you want me to like divide that up and give maybe a couple of the guys to Ken to call if he has time, and a couple of, or Skip, and
that's
give
a
some
good idea.
on it?
Sure.
We could just say we're to call in to touch base, see how you are.
That's what I
Um,
do, but it's a long list, and some of them do really like to talk.
Uh-huh. Well, maybe you could star those, because I'm a chatterbox too.
Hold on,
I'll just give you
Amy,
two.
Amy,
What do you
can
think
hear
about
you,
that?
Skip, yeah.
That's a good idea.
please, let's get back to the
Good idea.
business.
Okay.
I understand where you're all coming from with the phone calls and all, and it is probably a good idea. But let's not get too deep into just making phone calls as far as a discussion right now. It is a good idea if the phone calls could get out to those that wish to have people call. So if there's some way we can do that with the newsletter or what, I think we should. But I do think that the Council of Aging should have a command center down, someone down answering the phone also, because not everybody gets the message like we do. In other words, not
Or
everybody,
has computer connections too.
right, exactly. The other
Yeah.
thing with the, you can also Zoom with other people. Yeah, I know you can, what do they call it? One-on-one even with your computer.
FaceTime-
What is it called?
FaceTiming with the phone?
Yeah, right.
I don't know
So-
how to do that.
That's
Hey.
easier than this, Bonnie.
Huh?
It's just what I went through just to get on today. I was going nuts.
But I can
FaceTime
always
is
pick up the phone.
Easier
Yeah.
than this.
All
Yeah.
right,
Hey, Skip, don't feel bad. It took me 5 minutes to get my picture up on the screen too, so.
all righty. So let's get back to the business of maybe keeping the command center open down at the hall. I mean, down at the building.
Senior center. So we're
Does
gonna
that-
close it to the public, Skip. We're gonna close this to the public, right?
Right, close it.
Close to the public until March or April. April's even fine for me.
So we're
Yeah,
gonna
whatever's best.
until
Yeah.
April.
I think April, just close, because March can be bad and weather's bad. Why not just close it till April?
Okay.
Alrighty, so, but
That's
it's
how
not,
I feel.
right. How does
But I do think, like I said, Nance could come in and then and then they'll still do the drive-through food. There's only
Right.
2 people in there at a time, the drive-through. And the congregate meals.
we
and
I
have
have a,
to-
can
That's
I have a
it.
question about the mock meals? Claudia, have you talked to Lisa or gotten an email from her?
I did.
So she talked to me at length on Monday about the food deliveries and the notes she put out, but we never really addressed, she said she didn't want any food coming into the Hubbardston house, no eggs and meals, and I never asked her about the mock delivery to the one person we delivered to, so I called her back and she wasn't there, and I asked her to call me back and let me know if we could still deliver Linda her meal from mock, and she never called me back. And I tried her yesterday morning before the guys went out and she never called me back. So they delivered it. I don't know exactly how they did it. She doesn't want anyone in the building. So that means no one past that front door.
Right.
He said he was gonna go knock on Sylvia's window to have her come out and get the meal for Linda. So I don't know what to do about that.
Well, we're gonna have to call her again maybe on Monday. I don't think she's here today, but maybe we'll have to call on Monday just to
So that
see.
she didn't address that with you, the
No.
mock meal.
No. She didn't, I didn't get to talk to her. I
Okay.
just got an email saying that she didn't want no more food delivered to the housing.
Why would she say that?
It's
Okay.
COVID. It's because of COVID, they don't want anyone entering the building. But
And
she
have
did tell them they could make their own decision and call us to make arrangements to get the food. So I called her back and I said, why don't you, if you want, post a note that they can come through the drive-through. They were still having that. And she said she'd do that. And she did, from what I heard.
Can't the people go into that first vestibule?
No.
And
No.
she doesn't
No,
even
no.
want them there, huh?
No. No.
Because they should be able to put the food in there, I would think.
No.
Even if they can't go any further than that into the locked area.
No, she doesn't want them in there because that would be touching the buzzers and everything. I think she doesn't want anyone, yeah, all right.
All right, so,
Has there been any kind of information about vaccinations for folks who live in group homes? Have we heard anything about our town getting that or no?
I talked to the pharmacist the other day. I talked to Janice, the pharmacist that gives the flu shot, and she said she hasn't heard anything, about coming to the senior center or,
Well,
There's
isn't
There was
that-
something on TV yesterday that the next ones that were going to get it were going to be the group.
Right. I usually try to listen to, since I'm home all the time, I try to listen to Charlie as often as I can. And I think you're right, Bonnie. That was, group homes are in the group now
Yeah,
that they're trying to address. So, but I don't know how it goes from who decides what towns, group homes, towns get it, but I think they're in this group right now that along with first responders who are now getting vaccinations.
could we get back to
Coming.
talking about making sure we have volunteers and to man the building and the phones?
Well,
And-
Claudia already gave us a list of
All right.
who's gonna be in charge each day there or to go down there and, right, you just wanted to go by that list?
yeah, I think so. I mean, if somebody calls or if you have another person, you can always add to the list. And I don't think you have to be there every day. I think if you come in on Monday and then if Wednesday, maybe just
Every
check
other
to
day?
see if there's, I mean, I don't think you have to be there. And Friday, we're closed anyway. So, and if Pat wants to work on the newsletter, that'd be great. And if Jane wants to help her, that's up to, the two of you, that'd be great. And Bonnie's here too, so I know she's tries her hardest. She does a good job.
Hmm.
So
Absolutely.
I'll have to give
Working out
Pat
good.
the option of what people want to do, and
I wonder, does she have Publisher on her computer?
she
at
has a
home?
computer at home.
Yeah, I know. I'm wondering, does she have Publisher so that she can actually assemble a newsletter?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. We
So she
did
may
that when I
have to go down there to put it together, but that won't be, she must be just about done because she showed me a mock-up of what February, she had for February. And it looked good. It was, I didn't see any changes or anything that needed to be made. Did you, Jane?
I didn't see it yet.
Oh,
So she could email it to you, Jane. She could
Yeah.
email it and then you could see it.
Yep.
Yeah.
but
right,
maybe
I'll
she
call.
could put in the little blurb about contacting any of us or whatever.
Yeah, the board, all the numbers and the emails and everything are on the back of the newsletter. So everybody's contact information is already on the newsletter when it goes out.
Absolutely, yeah.
So,
I do, I don't have a copy of the agenda.
Well,
I couldn't
you
get
didn't
it.
get the email?
I emailed, but I couldn't copy it or anything, so.
You couldn't open it? You
No.
couldn't open the two attachments?
I mean, you just can't
I-
look at it now and be on Zoom and look at it at the same time.
Right.
I don't think.
Who has the agenda actually for this meeting?
I gave it
have-
to you. I gave it to you yesterday.
Oh, I'm
You have
sorry.
it?
No,
I gave you, yeah, you should have everything. I gave you all three.
all righty, I'm sorry, I apologize.
That's all right.
In the truck. I left it in the truck on the seat. I apologize. All right, so, oh, I've just carried a lot of stuff out of the truck and that stayed there. So I do apologize for that. Could,
Do we
Cl-
need to vote on whether or not we want to keep the senior center mostly closed to the public
I think we do.
okay.
yeah, all right. Do I hear a motion to keep the senior center closed to the public? Keeping that we still have the volunteers to go in? Is that how we want to put it?
Yeah, I make a motion that we
Okay, go
keep
ahead.
it closed for until the beginning of April with just keeping the phones manned and serving the community with the food distribution.
That's
And
good.
That's good.
and phone call availability for,
Right, that'll be the people who man the phones,
Right.
right?
no, but I mean, like, if they want to call us at home and talk or something, you know what I mean? Availability to, I don't know, share or,
Right.
okay, phones, okay,
Outreach.
of April.
Yeah.
Outreach, yeah, yeah.
Would be available for outreach. Okay, and then the other thing is we're gonna continue the egg and food distribution.
And the
Egg
mock meals.
and mock food distribution, okay. Motion to keep the senior center closed to the public until the beginning of April. Phone service to be available for outreach, eggs, mock, and food distribution to be in place.
How does that sound to everybody?
You need to add about the drive-through. How many people come through for drive-through?
That's a
fine.
distribution.
That's the
That's-
food distribution.
But will people know that it isn't just the
Oh,
door to
yeah.
door?
Well, yeah,
Sometimes you have to be explicit, you know?
well, it's on the front door too. We have a sign.
Oh, okay. Sounds
Do I
good.
hear a motion to accept
I make a
Did I make a
motion.
motion? Okay, by Mel. Anybody second?
I second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All right. Do I hear a motion to vote on this? A motion to vote on what we just agreed to.
Oh, I thought we just did vote.
Yeah.
You voted on how it was written. Now you vote on,
Oh.
now you vote on it.
Oh, okay.
All
I'll
right?
make a motion to vote on that, on our agreement.
All righty. Seconded.
I second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, it's passed. All right, next on the agenda,
Well, we
hold on.
have, on it, we have the new business, which would be programs, but that's really nothing we can talk about now. I do have a program scheduled for April, but we have to wait and see what's gonna happen, I think.
exactly.
And for the reopening, we basically covered that, because there's nothing we can do as far as the bowling and the cards and the sing-along and stuff
Yeah.
until we let this go by. And then in April, we gotta see how we're at, and then we can make some decisions as to how we're gonna reopen and rebuild our senior center. It's gonna have to be all rebuilt again, I think. So I don't really know what we can just, what we wanna say, but do you have anything to add, anyone, or?
The only thing I was gonna add is I think you're absolutely right, Claudia, that, you know, I think we should continue to have, our monthly meetings. And, we'll have one in February, we'll have one in March, and based on where we want to go, I think you're right. We have to look at if we reopen, say, April 1st or April 15th, whatever. What are we going to do based in the new reality? What services are we going to provide? When are we going to provide them? And what's the safety level? What's the safety level in April? If we're at 5,000 cases a day now, but we get to April, the end of March, and we're down to 3,000 cases or 2,500 cases a day, well, that's kind of like where we were in the summer, when things were, and if we see the trend, but if we're still in the 4,000 to 5,000, then we're not any better than we are today. But I think the
Way to go, we're all back.
evaluation in March is really what we need to do, and take it a month or 2 months at a time.
Yeah, I agree. And once they get the vaccine and we see everything going down, then we
Exactly.
can maybe make some decisions.
You're right.
Yeah.
If most of us here and the seniors are all vaccinated by the end of March, well, maybe we can move forward regardless of the numbers, if we've all been vaccinated. But if we still haven't, if those under 70, let's say, have not been vaccinated yet, well, then we have to see.
I've been noticing a little bit that senior centers in some areas in other states have been the site for the vaccinations. And is that something we would want to do?
I already asked about that, Mel. I've been working on that. I was talking to my pharmacist about that because she gives the flu shot anyway. But we have to wait and see what the state says, and then I have to work with the Board of Health, because the Board of Health is the one that I will, with Mal, and see if that's something that we can do once it becomes available. I think it's a good idea.
I do too.
to do that.
I can see us being the site for the town, for the older
Yeah.
people, right?
Yeah.
Potentially, depending on everything else that's going on, right?
Well,
Right.
and as an aside, I think that would be great advertisement for us as an organization
Mhm.
with the seniors in town, particularly those who perhaps don't come there. That we are involved, that we do care
Yeah.
about them, and
Well,
and
would there
helping our
be-
senior community. So I
We're
think that
valuable.
you do
We're
that.
a good
Yeah.
service. Yeah.
Well, I think outreach is really important. Would there be any legal ramifications or anything about each of us getting a list of all the seniors in town? And everybody, and making sure that everybody got one phone call a month, just to let them know that we're thinking about them, letting them know what's going on if they haven't had their ear to the jungle telegraph.
I
And,
think we have a list of the seniors. Of course, everything's in My Senior Center. So whoever comes up, if they want to go through the My Senior Center, we have a list and phone numbers of people there. The problem is
could
we
we
gotta
get
make
hard
sure,
copies is what I'm saying. Could they
yeah,
get printed out and sent out to each of us?
we just gotta
at
make
home?
sure, we gotta just make sure that we don't pass any information on to anyone.
This
You know
is
what I
what-
mean? It has to stay
Right.
private, that's all.
But
Yeah.
we do have an outreach person, and that outreach person perhaps could get volunteers or something, could do it. I think we should put that back in the hands of the outreach person. And, you know, what I'm trying to say is, I think the outreach person should take care of that.
Skip, can you see us?
Go ahead, Nancy.
Skip, can you see us?
Oh, yeah, I can see you guys.
Okay, good. I wasn't sure. And it came up on my screen a few minutes ago that Bill was raising his hand.
Bill?
Yeah,
Oh,
it came up on my
Bill wasn't
screen.
gonna come.
Oh,
I spoke
here
with.
it is.
Bill
It's
Morton.
showing it again right now.
Oh,
Bill, are
see
you
it
on
at the
there?
bottom of your screen? It says it's 8 participants. One, two, and it says that Bill's raising his hand. No one else has that at the bottom of this screen?
no.
No, you're right. Mine says 8 participants now also.
It says 8, mine, yeah.
Maybe he finished what he was doing and was able to join us, but he told me he wasn't gonna be able to.
Oh, hey, Billy, you there? Okay, never mind.
So I would be very happy to do that. I don't really want to go down and go into the senior center. I just don't feel comfortable doing that, but if somebody
I
could.
have
print out a
the
list-
list.
And
Lori
I
sent me
had
the
made
list.
a list, which is probably obsolete now, but I had my own list of people I used to like call and
Right.
stuff if we lost electricity or whatever.
So Lori gave me a list of all the seniors in town. I have it on my email. But it's probably the same when you're thinking of Claudia. It's all the seniors
Probably,
in
yeah.
town. I
Yeah.
just didn't, I don't know, are we allowed to go ahead and use that and call people from that? Or is that private information?
I don't think, it has to stay private. You can't make sure it doesn't get out to, it's a very fine line there. You're not supposed to share. It's not supposed to
I'm
share a
watching.
lot.
I am watching, can't get on for some reason.
From
Yeah.
Bill
Bill,
to Al.
to
Oh.
all participants.
Can somebody speak to Ryan and get an opinion whether somebody has to talk to the town attorney or whatever?
I'll email him. I'll email Ryan after we get off here. I'm gonna email Ryan.
And just
talk
tell
to
this is
him.
what we'd like to do. Can we
Yeah.
do it?
A list of the seniors. Okay.
And it wouldn't be to pester them, but just to give them even one phone call a month.
Yeah.
That would only be 2 calls
Bonnie,
per person.
I agree with you 100%. Our goal here is not to harass, but certainly to
Right.
show concern. But you never know how certain people are in
Oh, I
today's
know.
society. You never know how certain people are going to think that. Where did you get my phone number?
Right.
Yes, privacy is a
know?
big thing. It's a very big
That
thing.
kind of thing we really
Yeah.
need.
Yes, so we have to be very careful. That's a very delicate thing.
I think she gave me the list because we talked about doing a mailing
Yes,
to everyone, every senior in town. We wanted to do a mailing, but then we were told you have to do it to every person in town. You can't just do a mailing to the seniors. We're gonna have to do it when we do it to every person in town.
And that's
Which wouldn't be
expensive.
bad. I know, but it wouldn't be bad because it would then, they can know about our senior center, and if they have a loved one that wants to move here, whatever. It wouldn't be bad.
I
Well,
just think this is the time for, and it has been doing a wonderful job so far in staying connected to the community and becoming even more relevant to the community than it ever was. If the pandemic had come along before we were asking for the new senior center, I bet with the concern and care that they have shown over the last, well, since the pandemic started, I think it would be a no-brainer. We would have that senior center voted on. I really do. But it's that a lot of people didn't think that we were relevant.
Oh, Skip.
There he
If you're
is.
back.
There you are, Skip.
I got lost in the way. What I'm trying to do is get you to stop talking.
Good luck
For,
with that.
yeah, right, exactly. Every time. But I am truly concerned about the privacy part of this. As, so that I think that perhaps maybe we should discuss this at the next meeting. After we get more information on as far as sending out people's telephone numbers and such. So I ask
We
that
have-
you,
We
Go
have a
ahead.
list of people who are shut-ins and who do need us. So we do have a list, and we can continue to add when we hear that somebody else is sick or shut in or whatever. We can continue to add names on there to check in
Okay.
if they need us. But I don't know. I'm with you. I'm not quite sure about passing out that list.
I don't think the whole town list, no, but our
No.
regular folks and maybe the Hub House folks. And I had made a list of anyone that we knew was on oxygen so that if we lost power in town,
Oh, yeah,
that was a
right.
call. And I actually went out with the police a couple times and we checked and they were very receptive to it. But those were people that we kind of knew. They weren't people who never put their foot in the door, you know what I'm saying, at the senior center.
So Mel, that's a list that I was using all last winter when Claudia was gone and you couldn't come in. I used that list.
I could try to update that, but I don't know how I would update it.
I already did.
Would it go
I
in? Oh,
updated it.
you
I
already-
updated it for you. Yep.
Oh, thank you.
Because there's some people who have their family members living with them now, and they take care of them and they still like a little chat, some of them.
Still like a
Yeah.
little chat
Yeah.
though. They do like a little chat. Yeah, because they have a separate phone number, a lot of them. They have their own phones and stuff, even though they're living in or about with their children. So, yeah. I don't know.
I-
The
please-
list that we've already established, I think we can still do
can we
that. right?
please move on. And
Okay.
we'll take, I see what these people want to do. I understand this. But we still have to go through and find out about privacy and everything else. So I think that we should table this till the next meeting.
Can I add just one thing,
it.
Skip? Can I add one
Go
thing?
ahead.
Sue Brakey is, she goes on the My Senior Center and she sends out every single month birthday wishes. She sends out the newsletter online through all the people on the My Senior Center. So she can
wow.
also put a little blurb if you need any help to call, or we'd be happy to help you if you need anything, any food or whatever. So when she does that blast out from the My Senior Center, we could ask her to just add in a few more things. So we are out, reaching out to people and letting them know that we're there. So that's everybody over 60 that's in the My Senior Center. She gets in touch with every single one of them. So
If
I
they
just-
have an email.
if they have an email, absolutely, Nancy. Yep. Yep. Just wanted to let you know that, so that
That's
we are
good.
getting out to them too, so.
So are we in agreement to table this till the next meeting? I
Well,
think,
We can still
ahead.
call the people on that list that I've been calling, right?
right,
Yeah.
right. If you
Okay, but
list,
just not add to it, but yeah.
I'm saying not add to it right now. in the way that you want to add to it. You're not gonna hand out a bunch of telephone numbers to all different people.
Mm.
It's just not gonna happen, I don't believe, and I don't think it's a proper thing to do. But that's just my opinion too. So I think that either we table it or we put it in the hands of the outreach person to let them decide and figure out what they would like to do as far as getting volunteers perhaps.
Well, Skip, I think that's a
To
good idea, but I mean, Claudia said she's gonna email Ryan and that's it. We can make a firm decision at next month's meeting, and this will give us a month or so to get all this information. And if you will get the go-ahead, then we can start putting stuff together. But I like your idea of, obviously not voting on this or anything until we get all the facts.
That's what I'm looking at.
That sounds like a conservative approach, yeah.
My middle name.
Okay, so let's move on with the agenda. What's next on the agenda?
I think
Or is that just new business
That's it.
and,
old
That's it?
business, this old business is discuss COVID
all right,
and then
We've
adjourn.
done exhaustively.
I think we've exhausted all that, haven't we?
We have.
I think we've exhausted all about that. But I think we don't have a ton. I think it's gonna be good to meet next month. It'll be good to just touch base with everyone and see where everybody's at.
do we
Yeah.
have a date for next month's meeting?
Nope, does somebody want to make one? It's fine with me anytime.
Is
It's 10
Friday at
o'clock in the-
10 good for everybody?
It's good for me.
Mhm.
Friday?
Sure. Friday at 10, but what Friday?
Let me grab a calendar. I have a calendar.
I'm looking now.
Thank you.
We got the 12th or the 19th,
Well, right, February.
12th or the 19th? Oh, I don't know, 12th or 19th we have.
Now, Bill just put a message on there that he agreed to about not adding names to the list. What about if we ask the people whose names we have, if they have any friends or seniors that they talk to, would they like to be added to the list? And have them check with them and then get more numbers?
You can do that.
That way, I mean, at least we'd have their permission to contact them.
Right.
That's
so
a good,
Mel- Right, Mel, do you have that list at home?
I have my old list.
Okay, so
I
why
don't
don't I
know if
call,
I have
you
your updated one, but
you
yeah.
want to be the outreach person and I'll just,
Yeah.
5, 12.
I'll call
13,
you and give you
26.
the updated list, like who not to call on that old list and who,
Okay.
who would be good to keep calling, since I think I've been the one calling mainly on Mondays. And I
Mhm.
haven't done that recently, but I did it in the midst of everything going on. So, all right, I'll call you, Mel, and update your list.
Sounds good.
Okay, so what date is our next meeting?
So we have the 5th, the 12th, the 19th, or the 26th. Which one?
12th or the 19th. 19th probably is best for me, but the 12th would be okay also.
I'm looking at the 12th.
Okay.
Anybody interested in the 12th?
Yep.
Yep, it's fine.
Sure.
All in favor of the 12th? Very good.
Here you go.
Sounds
You
good.
want to pick a date for March 2 while we're here, so I can get both of those in before I
Sure.
leave?
That's a good idea.
So,
Now, should these be publicized in the newsletter? So if anybody wants to contact us and has an issue that they'd like to have us discuss?
That's a good
or,
idea.
Anything, that may be a point that we haven't covered at this meeting. I mean, they are not going to be privy to the meeting itself, but they still could give us some feedback.
That sounds good.
Excuse me,
I don't know.
are you getting the emails from Bill?
Do I?
Are we getting it on the bottom of your screen? No.
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
yeah, yeah.
12th is good for him.
12's good for him. Yeah,
Okay, so February, we have the same dates, 5, 12, 19, and 26. I mean, March.
Right.
Yeah. So
So
the
Might as
12th,
well
We
do
make
the
them both
12th.
on the 12th, easy to
Yeah.
Right.
remember.
yeah.
both
both on the
12.
12th at 10.
10 a.m.
Yeah.
and it will be Zoom. So who's gonna do that part? We have. to
I
ask
will,
Ryan.
I will get those in and Ryan will Ryan will do that. He'll get us set us up like we did. All right?
All right,
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, we'll have him set us up and get us on.
So Claudia, you want to, what Bonnie just said is a good idea, yeah? Putting it in the newsletter? You want to let Pat know about that?
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
Put in
call
the
her.
newsletter about our meeting? Oh,
If
okay.
anybody wants a phone call or if anybody knows anyone who
No, no,
needs
no,
someone to,
not
what,
with the
What do we-
phone call. I don't believe.
No.
I believe Bonnie suggested, Bonnie, could you suggest it again, please?
No, I just suggested that the dates of the meeting be put in, not necessarily even the time, but just the date, so that people could contact us if they had any concerns or issues that they'd like us to discuss.
Jane, do you hear that?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
These are public meetings, right? I mean, couldn't someone even zoom in on these meetings?
These are public meetings. Anybody can zoom in.
Right. Because I
Oh.
know that's what we do with the
They don't
select
have
board
to be-
meetings.
All right,
They're open to the
Anybody-
public.
So they'd have to publicize the link, right?
right.
Yeah.
They must.
Wouldn't it be better if, like Bonnie suggested? Because I don't know about getting in on this link. I mean, I'm having problems as it is.
Well, the
know,
thing is, if they wanted to, they'd have to call and somebody would have to send them the link. That's
This
very
is-
simple. If you want to get on in the meeting, give a call and we'll send you the link.
No, well, Claudia, it was on, that's why Ryan put it on our page.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Anyone who went onto our
Yes.
page could have zoomed, could have joined this meeting today.
Yes.
Oh,
Right?
I
Yes.
see. I didn't know that.
But that, all right. With this new technology, I can see what things are good. All right, anyway, what do you think of Bonnie's idea, though? Putting
I think
it
it's a
in
good
the
idea.
newsletter.
Yeah?
I think,
We're always looking for input, and
I think that's
input
kind of
from
a good
people
idea
who are
because
trying
then
to
people
service.
could,
is good.
let us know that we are concerned,
Yeah.
that we want to hear from them, that we, I think it's a good idea, but that's my opinion. So
Oh, it's a
anybody
really good
else?
idea.
Really good idea?
Yep.
Could I get some more talk on it? Some more, everybody?
More
Everybody think-
people who can contribute and share ideas, the better always, right? Especially now. We're
Yeah.
all home doing nothing.
Right,
And it makes them have more of a commitment to the senior center too, because they'll feel more a part of us.
And they might learn about it. These could be
Yes.
new people.
Yeah, that's true too.
People who have never tapped into us before.
A lot of people read the newsletter. I know it used to go to the school and the teachers would read it. Does it still go over there,
I don't
the
know.
newsletter?
It doesn't go over there. No, not now, Nance. I used to bring it over. I used to bring it over to Jan, but we haven't brought it over there for a while, since this anyway.
Hmm.
So are we gonna go along with Bonnie's idea there?
Yes, I think Jane was gonna let
I can
Pat
imagine.
know, or someone's gonna let.
I'll call Pat.
Okay, you're gonna call Pat. Sure.
All right, good. That should work. So we've pretty much covered all the business, old business, new business. Anything else that we can think of? That we're,
And Mel, you're gonna break up that list and give us each some to call or what?
Well, Nancy's gonna send me. Nancy's
Oh, okay.
gonna
Once
send
you
me
get,
the updated version.
oh, okay.
Mine is actually a little bit old, stale.
Mhm.
And let's see how big it is. I mean,
It's
I
not real
have all
big.
day, every day. I don't mind talking on the phone. You know me, guys. Get me on the phone, you never get off, right?
Now, this list that you have is already people gave you permission to call, correct?
That I've already called or
Well,
or visited, not
All right.
during this period of time, but in times past. Yeah, like when we would lose electricity and they were on oxygen, you know, I even went with the police a couple times to see how they were and stuff like that. And nobody had any problem with it.
Okay, cool. So that is a permission list already, so.
Right.
That's
A few
all-
of those,
My original list, yes, I would say, yes.
they've moved. A few of them have moved, died, moved.
I was gonna say, a few of them aren't with us anymore, so.
Mm.
All right. Do I hear a motion to close the meeting?
Motion to adjourn,
Motion to adjourn.
second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
I
I
Bye.